Hello Virgo, welcome to the Black Hearted Oracle. Now before we get started, I'd like to pay homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course my beautiful ancestors. Now this is part 2 of the Where Do We Stand spread, which is your mid-January love reading. And this part 2 is coming from the perspective of your person of interest or your partner. Okay, let's get started. What you see laid before you is the heart of the matter. And you have 16 patients. You have the full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. And just to point out that we just went through a full moon eclipse in Cancer. So these energies that we're speaking of today could last for a good 6 months. Okay? Then we have the magic of the Colleen Druid, and it's caution, secrecy, and wary. And then we have trickery. And then we have the ring, 25. So I want to point out that the patience that you must have is about allowing these things to come to light. This secrecy and this trickery that's going on within this commitment is that you're going to have patience to see the full truth of it. But within that time, you must have patience because the conclusions are coming very soon. Or maybe what will happen is that somebody will put an end to this trickery and focus on their commitment. Either way, there's going to be some form of resolution. Okay. The first question that I asked, how does your partner or person of interest see themselves? And we have adjacent possibilities, number 24. We have nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. We have bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. Then we have be bold, make the first move, cardinal moon. Then we have time and tide, oceanic spells and rituals. Then we have self-worth, and the lesson would be compass, number 46. And I just want to point out before we get into the message that both the beginning of your reading here and the closing of the lesson is both boiling down to a 6. Okay? So what this is saying is that your partner right now sees himself as someone who is very blessed. You know, blessed in the fact that they have many adjacent possibilities. Oh, sorry. Let me close that window. Let me tone it down just a little. Okay. Pull it this way. Yes. Sorry about that. That we have, that he or she has many possibilities. You know, like the world has just been opened up to them. Because it seems as though maybe they were behind one of these closed doors. And didn't realize the abundance of possibilities that was there for their future. Right? But we have nothing will come of this situation. Bring love into the situation. And be bold and make the first move. So although they have many possibilities, if they're not bringing love into the situation, true love, you know, then nothing will come of it. This will just be a wasted time. But they have to be bold. So if there was any kind of misconduct of any sort on on your partners, because this is how they see themselves, sorry. There's a time and tide that, you know, the ebb and flow of life. So this person had to get into the rhythm of life and regain their self-worth. And know that the compass is here. So although they have these many choices, they're going to have to set the direction in which they're headed towards. And it seems as though it might as well be their true north, right? Because they have to be bold and make the first moves. They can't sit passively by and just think about these possibilities that they have. They actually have to do something about it. And they're seeing that now. Okay. The next question that I asked is how they see you. And boy, I'm telling you, were they speaking? Huh? You got so many messages. You have the moon. You have new moon in Libra. New romantic cycle begins. You have the song of the siren, the call, the summoning, the voice, and to acknowledge. You have impartiality. Then you have forbidden. The waxing crescent moon. Beauty. Victim. Gossip. And soulmate. I don't think I can get all these cards in here. Then you have, push them up. I need all the space I can get. Oh boy. Okay. Let's try to get these cards in the shot. You have strength. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Then you have sacrifice and bittersweet. Okay, so we'll, I guess, take it part by part because I still have so many more messages. Okay, so far, what they're seeing, Virgo, is that you're coming into a place where you're beginning to trust your intuition. You're beginning to trust your heightened intuition. And you're looking for a new romantic cycle in your life. So one of balance, of equal partnership, equal give and take, and you're being called to this, and you're being summoned, and you're acknowledging it, and you know that you want somebody who is impartial, because whatever path that you have been on before, it was forbidden. So they had to turn their back on, well, not they, you. How they see you is someone who had turned their back on a road, whether it was with them or with something else in your life, right? Because it made you feel like a victim. And it was overburdened with a lot of gossip. It was this cycle, you know, of the tide and times, of the running in and out, because they had so many possibilities, right? So now that they're seeing is that you're more focused on your dreams and reclaiming your beauty. And you've found back your strength to show the world your real you, and you're making the sacrifices that are necessary in order to seek the life that you want. And though this may be bittersweet for you, you're refusing to continue to feel like a victim. Okay, we're getting to the rest of it because there's a lot. Okay. Next, for how they see you, is choices, number 46. Full moon in Pisces, balance spirituality and practicality. Vision. Then we have the temple path. The mutable moon, nothing is yet set in stone. Okay. So, do you like that? Oh, I still like this then. So, okay. Endurance and transparency. And then you had faith and workaholic and the sickle. Right? And this is how you see the relationship. How they see the relationship. Sorry. They see that within this relationship, there were so many choices. Like, I guess the two of you weren't in, I don't know whether this relationship was monogamous or not, but I'm really beginning to feel like on both sides there were choices. Like, people weren't in a committed relationship, even though they might have been in a committed relationship. There was always things that were more important to the person, the partners in this relationship. And it doesn't mean that there's an actual other person involved or other people involved, but the choices was between, like, their romantic relationship, or you guys' choices were between the romantic side of the relationship and whatever else caught your eye or your passion. So I'm not exactly saying that there was cheating or infidelity in the relationship. You would know that, but what I am saying is that your partner or a person of interest sees that the relationship, first and foremost, it has like a lot of choices, and some are good and some are bad, right? But there needed to be balance between what was practical and what was spiritual, because there was visions here, there was a lot of vision that people wanted in this relationship to achieve, and they were wanting to go on a journey to their higher purpose, but there was nothing yet set in stone because there was no balance in this relationship. But what this relationship did was allow everyone to know themselves, to do some real deep self-examination and truly see who they really are, and have the endurance to keep going towards the temple path. Because no one is looking besides from this mirror. That's the only one that's looking in the way of faith and the workaholic. Everyone else is looking away. These two, they're looking straight ahead. So they're asking you, are you guys crystal clear on the way this relationship should be going? Like, are you guys balancing your visions? Are both of your visions the same? Because if you guys are not swimming together, one is going against the current and one is not, the lesson of this is learning what to cut out. Learning when to harvest your work, or harvest what you've put in. Or knowing when to cut something that is ruining your harvest. And not just have faith and blind and endless faith and keep on enduring in something where it's not yet set in stone. There's no one has made a full commitment. And they see that it's a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of faith, but at the end, the lesson is to cut it out. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh no, that was still how they saw you? Yeah. Okay, that was still how they saw you. Sorry, I'm seeing how they saw the relationship. No, that was how they saw you. So they saw that, I have to do that kind of over. Yeah, what they saw is that you really had thought that it was a lot of work in this relationship, Virgo, and eventually you had to cut it out. Or if this hasn't, well, it has to do with you. If this is your work, then it's saying that, you're a workaholic. And there was something that needed to be cut out because the choices here, that maybe that you should be more focused on your visions and balance your spirituality and your practicality. And have the endurance to keep going after your dreams. I'm sorry, I have to do that all over because I mixed up the questions. So, so you have to have the endurance to go to your dreams and really get to know thyself, Virgo. And do the necessary healing that was here for you, because remember, it was temple path and nothing yet was set in stone. about that. Okay, next is how they see the relationship. Okay. Goddess of the Moon. Confidence is key to your success. Take time to breathe out. Meditate and contemplate. Honor the masculine. Insecurity. Okay. And then we have okay, that's exactly how it is. All right. Then we have the key and the fish as the lesson. So that's a lesson on this one. No, they cut it out. Okay. Sorry. This is how they see the relationship, right? The Goddess of the Moon, number 52, is, I'm just going to read it real quick because I like to know their interpretations. This card shows an eternal spirit holding the bright reflective moon standing in front of crystal clear waters of a sparkling waterfall. Her arms are stretched upward, receiving the light of the moon and the light of inspiration. This card is all about intuition and the ability to receive insights from the soul's point of view. Okay. So they see that within this relationship, it is growing their intuitive powers, and that they find that they have to be very confident in order to achieve the success that they're looking for. But to me, when I see these cards, I have a sense of anxiety. You know, that's what I'm getting from these two cards. The it takes time to breathe out and meditate and contemplate. Yeah, I'm getting a feeling of anxiety. And the reason why I'm getting a feeling of anxiety is because these two cards, plus the Honor the Masculine and the Insecurity, right? So this card speaks of if there's no enemy within, there can be no enemy without. And whoever this person is, they're very misogynistic. But they think they're doing it out of a man's right to rule or a man's right to be ahead. But really what it's coming from a deep sense of insecurity and a deep sense of anxiety, whether it is a social anxiety or an egoic anxiety of not really reaching the levels that they want to reach. But, you know, king of the castle type mentality, and not realizing that there's a balance between the masculine and the feminine, that they're both equally important. One stands no higher than or lower than the other. Yeah, so this person has to learn to gain the confidence and trust their intuition, because there's such a high sense of anxiety right here. And what this lesson is that whatever they're wishing on, this honor and this strength, the lesson is that while you're at the wishing well and looking deep down into the clear black bottom of the well, the only thing you're going to find at the end of your wishing is you, right? But the person already has the key to their success, because this is a number 33, right? And 33 is a master number. The number 33 is, you know, the Christ number. And when I say that, I mean like Christ consciousness. I'm not a religious person, so if you take offense, then I'm sorry. But no, I'm speaking of the Christ consciousness that needs to be risen up, right? Because through that, he has the key to his abundance, but through that, he's going to need his freedom, and to be freed of the insecurity that is blocking this partner, male or female. The reason why I'm saying male is because I'm seeing the masculine. But this is the relationship, how they're viewing the relationship. So within it, they know that in order for it to go as it needs to go, they need to be confident and they need to trust their intuition. But they're battling a lot of things inside of them that's causing a great deal of social anxiety, I feel like, you know, yeah, it's kind of sad. But they have the ability to just free themselves, stop wishing, free themselves, and go after this abundance that's there for them. Because as you see, that's a progression, right? Free themselves, gain this abundance. Next, this is what your partner or potential is expecting. A caring connection. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse, telepathy, nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, mind reading. And then we have enlightenment, quest, and the star. Okay. So what they're expecting is a kind of a change, right? Virgos, male or female, masculine, feminine, however you subscribe to these days. What they're expecting is a change. They're wanting a caring connection. They're expecting powerful change, not just a small change. They're expecting to be so well bonded to their person that it's like they don't even have to speak. Like you guys just meld and mesh because they're coming to a state of enlightenment and on a journey, you know, and realizing that everything they need is already within them. There's no seeking outside of themselves for everything they need. And the thing again is to find your North Star. You know, star came out with the compass came out and the star card came out. You know, it's time for this person to find their star, to do the necessary healing so they can maintain or bring back the relationship to a state of a caring connection. Now the outcome is man holding a coin, which is funny because you were woman holding a coin. And then we have full moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. We have Selkie and her skin, reclaiming your authenticity. And then we have abundance. Okay, that's absolutely beautiful so far. We have mask, the child, the park, the fox, sneaky little bugger, the clover, and wow, this is beautiful. Okay, you guys have a really good outcome. All right. Sorry. If it's about finances, then you guys are going to, it seems like you guys are going to be okay, but you're going to have to, both of you, or him in the outcome, because you already received your outcome, he's going to have to reclaim his authenticity. And he's going to have to, well, I'm sorry. I don't want to say he, it's just because the man holding the coin. But yeah, your partner, they're going to have to know what kind of how they view abundance. You know, is he a foolish person who is going to woe is me all the days of his life and put his hand on his head, drown his sorrows? Or is he going to figure out a way to do something in order to accomplish the dreams? Because this card speaks of a man who dropped a gold coin down the drain and lamented over it for the rest of his days. And this one is about the girl who saw the coin and fashioned string and bubblegum and got it out and saved all the coins and bought a house with all the coins that she had rescued and picked up and saved throughout her time. Right? So it's necessary that your partner look at the bigger picture, the grand scheme of things, in order to not get lost in these little details. You know, they have to do more, like no crying over spilt milk. They got to pick themselves back up because there's a lot of good going on here. But again, the person has to stop wearing a mask. They have to be innocent. Show that inner child, you know, show them, play, love. Reclaim your authenticity by removing this mask and revealing your innocence in order to gain back your stability. Because, you know, there's a lot of social things that are going on and a lot of social events, maybe in your work environment or things like that, where there's a lot of sneakiness. And maybe the person feels like they have to wear a mask in order to receive this abundance, but really and truly, there's luck and there's promise of beautiful beginnings. There's promise of resurgence. There's promise of good things to come. But the reclaiming of oneself and reclaiming of one's authenticity and removing the false persona is necessary here. Okay, thank you, Virgo. Now before and Virgo's partner and potential partner. Now before we go, we have closing guidance, and that's a wrap. Okay, sorry, like this. This is your closing guidance. All right, the first is 13 feminine. It says the world is bereft of feminine consciousness. To bring Mother Earth back into balance, we must bring back our awareness of her. Language is a barrier between us, but women has always communed with the woman in an unspoken language. Her roots are intertwined with the essence of the Mother Earth, for she too is feminine. Woman is the keeper of the planet and must not let her energy be uprooted by a male system within a man or a woman. We are all in need of a world harmony. Mother Earth has been misunderstood, but she is the universal link. She is the womb for all that lives. Feminine consciousness is the energy that embodies the wisdom you need at this moment. Wow. Okay, you know, so who, this person right here, you know, this overly insecure person who is totally into this masculine, honor the masculine, they're really going to have to reconnect with their feminine side. I mean, it's absolutely necessary for them right now. And it says 36 magic. It says, if you do not believe in magic, your life will not be magical. Magic, like the power of the Stonehenge, is part of the unknowable. That which you cannot describe but exists and makes your life extraordinary. It is part of a goodness of your spirit. It is the mysteries and the intriguing part of your spiritual life. Magic is what we are all looking for. But if you try to hold it and name it and describe it, you will lose it. You must talk around magic, describe what led you there, and give thanks for that part of the universe that is unknowable. The full color and strength of magic. Out of relationship comes magic. Out of the friction of forgetting and remembering comes magic. Out of the mist of dawn and the mysteries of creation comes the magic that we call life. Out of your passion for existence comes magic. Wowzer! Thank you so much for coming to the Black Hearted Oracle. I pray these messages found you well, and I hope that you find your higher self in the quiet places, and may Ma'at hold you in her loving grace. Ashe.